Hey, so I often get asked, can a herniated or a bulge disc heal naturally? So the answer is yes. Like, I'll go through this in a little bit here, but the answer in the bottom line and the general answer is yes, it can. So the science says that at least 90% of people will recover from this around the 6-month time frame. Now, for you, it could be different. Some people recover a little faster, 2, 3, 4 months. Some take, up to a year. But the vast majority of people will recover from this problem conservatively and without the need for surgery, injections, long-term medications. So you have to take some baselines and kind of figure out, where your symptoms are at the time that you're starting. They could be, very central, maybe just to the neck or the back. Maybe they're coming down into the arm or the leg. But generally, you have to find out what movements, positions, activities, time of day change those things. So is it sitting? Is it walking? Is it bending? Is it lying down? There are typically things that do feel better and worse for these type of situations. Once you identify some of the aggravating or negative effects, potentially, sitting, bending, looking down, things like that, then it generally gives you an idea of a directional preference in which to move into. And that's generally going to be the opposite of the thing that bothers it. So if it's looking down, it's going to be generally tucking in and rolling back. If it's for the back and it's sitting and bending, it's generally moving backwards into extension. So you'll need to stay consistent with a couple of those movements over that time frame and try to avoid the aggravating movements. Now, don't avoid all movement in general. Just, resting and doing nothing will not be helpful in solving this in the long run. You may need some initial rest, or I would call it kind of like an active rest period. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, where you still want to be, moving a little bit, but not doing too much to where it's aggravating those symptoms. But the bottom line is, in general, with the correct movements, with working with the right person, with staying consistent over time, bulged and herniated discs can and do heal the vast majority of the time. It just takes some time and some effort.